Hey, man, let's get right off into this, man. This is going to be one of them blogs, and I'm going to let you guys know something right now. You're not going to catch me doing too much with the graphics. You're not going to catch me beating around the bush a little bit, and you're not going to catch this. This is one of those blogs where I get deep down into a topic, and I got to put somebody in place real quick. Let me talk to you, Brady Quinn. You've been doing a lot, and maybe the people out in the public don't really want to address you like that. And I understand Deshaun Watson can't really address you like that. But guess what? I'm a civilian. I'm going to just give you a rebuttal to what some of us is seeing in the community a little bit. So you got a lot of strong takes, and I get it. You got to have those strong takes to be in this business. But you borderline, dog. The exchange of conversation that you had was completely out of pocket. I don't know if you got some mentors or somebody around that can't tug your coattail and be cool, but your stuff is borderline on personal. You see, when we come into this game, we could talk about your play on the field. We could talk about a lot of different things. We could talk about whether or not you X's and O's, whether you feel a guy played good or bad. All that's fair game. But when you start digging down and commenting on and making fun of pending cases, that's kind of corny. When you start getting to a point where you calling people trust fund babies,
everyone else with a medical opinion just clears them pretty much. I mean, it's like, well, it's kind of similar to this. You get a kid who gets a trust fund, right? $230 million. Then he's like, hey, you want to go out and get a job? He's like, not really.
No.
I've got $230 million coming. I'm good.
Deshaun was born in Gainesville, Georgia, where he was raised by his mom, Deanne. With a family of 4 kids, Deanne always had her hands full, but took it in stride.
She's a very hard worker, motivated woman, and someone that you would love to be around.
She always have been a family person. Put your children first, and to make sure that they need what they need, and that's always have been her best interest is her children first.
With Deanne taking care of the Watson kids in a full house, it was inevitable that sports and football would be a big part of Deshaun's life.
How he gonna be a trust fund baby, Deshaun Watson speaking of, and he come from a single parent home?
It hurts a lot. It still do. Just seeing her, go through the stuff she had to do. She'll never be the same person as she was before that. She's the best mom, anyone can ask for. Just making sure that, she is happy at all times, and whatever she needs, if I can provide it for her, then I can do that and help her out. And that pain and hurt is just gonna take us a long way and, get us through any situation that comes by.
How he a trust fund baby when he grew up with his mom, growing up with very little to eat, very little, come up in very meager rations. And see, this is my problem, man. I don't like when people get on a pedestal and act like they can speak to certain levels. You don't even got the pedigree to even be talking like that, my G.
In the winter of 2012, Deanne would get some news that would change the lives of the Watson family. Deanne was diagnosed with tongue cancer, a type of oral cancer that had to be treated by the removal of the tongue and months of rehab and speech therapy.
Then the doctor told us that I had to lose my tongue, and now the accident it's something that I didn't know to happen, that as I got used to it, is just something I had to make the decision that I'm going to lose my tongue, or do I going to lose my life.
That's what it kind of feels like. Like it's human nature, by the way, too. For if you won the lotto and you end up netting $230 million, because we always talk about the Powerball and all that, like you'd probably be like, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm probably not going to do this anymore," right?
You really don't. You don't know where that man come from. You was the one that was running around looking like a Backstreet Boy in Notre Dame. Trust fund, baby. You was the quintessential. That was you, dog. And as I said before, I don't even believe in talking about nobody's appearance or what they doing. But this thing you got with Deshaun Watson is out of pocket, bro. And here's the problem I got with a lot of people. Because I always think every time you bring up $230 million, I kind of know why you salty. I kind of know why you mad. Because we can go to Exhibit A here. Let's bring that up. This is what you earned from the Cleveland Browns. Public facts. 5-year deal, $9.25 million with the Browns. 1.3 guaranteed. Annual salary of 1.85. That's a nice living. Salute to you. Congratulations, my man. You worked hard. You got that contract. But let's be clear. You go back to that time frame, that's a lot of money, Brady. And let's not act like you gave us such stellar play here in Cleveland that we wasn't thinking about you taking money. Because some people would argue you didn't even get to 9. We didn't get 9.2 out of you, right? Because if you go back and look at your career, there's a lot of things that transpired that really kind of didn't let you get to the next level. And if anybody, I'm disappointed in you because when you look back in your career, you've had injuries that have set you down and derailed your career. So when it comes to people talking about money and how you got to play for it and all this good stuff, it's starting to seem like a lot of y'all cats is upset because y'all ain't getting 230, because y'all didn't sniff 230. And so here's the great point about it. You'll say that about Deshaun Watson. You won't say nothing about Kirk Cousins. He was the first one to get the 19 guaranteed million. He was the first one to get the guaranteed contract. Him. You don't say nothing about Daniel Jones getting a crazy deal. He ain't earned it. So I got to drill down on why is it exactly that you feel the need that I'm going to go to the Deshaun Watson camp. I got a theory. We're going to just build this thing out. We're going to build this thing out. Stay with me here. Stay with me here. Let me talk to another person. Let me talk to another cast. You see, when I took a look at what you was talking about on that podcast, y'all borderline being disrespectful.
So you're saying I don't have to really play anymore? Like, that's what we're saying, Deshaun.
This is exactly why we're not giving you guaranteed money.
When I said don't ever come around here again, like never, ever come around here again.
You borderline like Kiki and Ha-Ha and like high school girls. Y'all low-key being disrespectful.
The Browns are going to make a run with P.J. Walker starting as their quarterback for the majority of this year.
Yeah.
And their $230 million starting quarterback on the bench.
Chilling.
And here's my thing, bro. Y'all circumstances seem to be a lot like Deshaun Watson's. And if there's one thing NFL players always understand, there's a code of conduct. You never call out another man in that locker room for being lazy or not wanting to play or faking injury. That's the worst thing you can do in a locker room. That's assassinating somebody's character. And I thought it was really ironic that everybody's running around laughing and ha and all that funny stuff when people put out tweets saying Deshaun Watson has a legitimate injury, legitimate injury. And then you see the timeline going and all you waiting for. And listen, let's just be clear. The massage jokes are so corny. They so high school. They so sophomoric. Because y'all be laughing and doing all this other stuff. But I know people that got falsely accused something that actually was true about it. Exhibit A with Bauer. Y'all raked Bauer through the coals until he had to go clear his name. Got raked through the coals with somebody that just wanted to get the bag. All y'all virtual signaling in, where was y'all at? Where y'all at? I don't see y'all. Man got stripped. Man got stripped of his career. He got stripped of all types of things, his reputation. What about the punt guy dude? What about that guy who got falsely accused for the Buffalo Bills starting kicker and his career is over on false allegations? That man wasn't even in the same state as that girl who said he sexually assaulted him. So at the end of the day, Y'all kiki and ha-haing about massages, but you talk about people's lives, bro. Y'all not clever. So let's keep it at number 2. Brady Quinn, you're a quarterback. You know what the rules is. You know what the unwritten rules is. You such a big stickler for the Manning royalty. Why don't you act like they would act? You like that. Listen, you like the Manning so much that you lied on C.J. Stroud about him ghosting him. I'm sorry. That's why they don't like you, G. Bush. You keep getting receipts. I got the receipts. We'll get to that too. If you like them so much and they royalty, you know one thing. Would Peyton Manning be out here assassinating people's character out of pocket? Would Eli Manning be out here talking about they trust fund babies and getting spicy? Do they kiki and ha-ha about how so-and-so ain't no good and all that other stuff? Nah, they don't do that. Because they understand that quarterbacks in that elite fraternity don't back by other quarterbacks. Go find me where Tom Brady is speaking on another quarterback's name terribly. Go find me Manning or Breeze speaking on another quarterback. They may give them constructive criticism, but they not doing all that other stuff you doing. And I think you overcompensating a little bit too. See, it happens sometimes when you're disappointed. Maybe your career didn't go the way you wanted to. We all understand. It's part of the game. But that don't give you no license to hate on another man. That don't give you no license. Hey, and LaVar Arrington, let me talk to you real quick. Let me talk to LaVar Arrington real quick. You're doing way too much laughing for me. Because y'all sitting around here talking about Deshaun Watson faking. But after I read these stories, this show sound like y'all. For people who is the toughest guys in the world, for a guy, y'all make y'all sound like y'all were played in Rome and y'all was the gladiators, like you was fighting bears and tigers. It make you seem like y'all Rambo. I had to go back and look. I'm like, let me look and see this cat LaVar Arrington. Maybe he did fight a grizzly bear and never took no time off. But the internet is undefeated. We talked about Deshaun Watson and how he's day to day. We talk about sometimes how you want to play, and you just can't. Your body don't let you do it. So let's go to LaVar Arrington, Jason Lockett Ford, 2004. Pro Bowl linebacker LaVar Arrington underwent arthroscopic surgery on his right knee for a lateral meniscus tear yesterday and will likely be out for 2 to 4 weeks, leaving the Washington Redskins, the league's top-ranked defense, without one of his most dangerous players. Sound familiar? Oh, you got a torn meniscus, he got a torn rotator cuff, right? You miss games, you miss games. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm sure you wanted to play right here, LaVar. I'm sure you wanted to fight through this, but sometimes your body just don't let you do it. After his knee swelled Wednesday night, Arrington visited orthopedic surgeon James Andrews in Birmingham office yesterday, and the decision was made to trim the meniscus flap that was causing him some discomfort. Shout out to you. See what you did? You went and got an outside opinion. Deshaun Watson has done that with his MRI. He said it. It's fact. Arrington is expected to be on crutches for a week and will revisit Andrews again next week for a progress report. Coach Joe Gibbs said that such surgery usually keeps a player sidelined for 2 to 4 weeks, but a formal timetable for Arrington's return has not been finalized. This sounds a whole lot like Deshaun Watson, don't it? That'd be cracking. Ain't that ironic? Because Kevin Stefanski says he's day-to-day. Right here, LaVar Arrington's coach Joe Gibbs says there's no timetable. So now why you all on radio thinking that you can kiki ha-ha about timetables when this is a regular practice in the league? See, I know y'all guys played a long time ago. Again, there's a thing called the internet, and I'm just giving you the receipts. So let's keep going. Let's see if LaVar Arrington was tackling bears and skydiving and he was the next Bond. Let's figure it out. Let's go. Let's get back to it. This is his coach. Now watch how Joe Gibbs sounds, ironically, a lot like Kevin Stefanski. We're going to have to go until Arrington gets back, Gibbs says. From time to time, that happens up here. We hate it, and I think LaVar sucked his guts up last week and played with it, and we thought he did a heck of a job for us. It's just one of those things that happen, and you need to get it taken care of. Oh, so let me tell you. So his coach is looking out for him. His coach has actually protected him. His coach told you, I know, LaVar, you're a pro bowler. You're important to our franchise. We need to go get this thing looked out. Don't even worry about it. We need to get this figured out. But all of a sudden, that's a sin. Deshaun Watson got the scarlet letter for going through the same process as you went through. I'm just giving you the receipts. Arrington dealt with a nagging left knee injury in the preseason and strained his right knee in the season opener against Tampa Bay. Arrington missed practice for a spell last week because of the problem, and reserve linebacker Lamar Marshall split time with them leading up to Sunday's game. That seems like P.J. Walker and Deshaun Watson. Deshaun says, my shoulder hurts. Hey, we're going to split some reps with you and P.J. Walker. We're going to figure out whether or not you can play or not. This is a parallel universe. Arrington's knee was stimulated early Sunday morning, and he played through the pain in the loss to the Giants. His knee felt better than it had in weeks, what Arrington reported for the treatment Wednesday, a day off for players. But the injury worsened overnight. Wow. So you meaning to say you could feel good enough to throw or be on the field, and then overnight it could feel worse? Wow. Where have I heard that from? I don't understand. Why would he tell his team the whole week he's going to play and then he doesn't play? It's mixed messages. Maybe mixed messages didn't exist in 2004, Mr. Arrington. I'm just giving you the receipts. Wednesday was the best it looked, it says. Sometimes, evidently, with those things overnight, it could just really swell up. So we felt like it was better to go ahead and get it looked at. He should be okay, but it's too bad that things swelled up on us. So funny, so ironic that people get on these microphones and forget what it is to be a player. Did you forget? Did you forget how tough it is to be a player, LaVar Arrington? Did you forget how much your body go through, LaVar Arrington? Did you forget the type of energy and effort it takes? And did you forget that any competitor is not sitting here cashing checks? You know good and well that you got a limited amount of time to play this game called football, to take care of your family. Do you think any real competitor is going to sit on the sideline and cash checks? No. And you know that. You know that. And if you accuse somebody of that, you got to be willing to stand on that when you see them. That's just the rules. But these dudes break rules when they get on TV because ain't nobody there to check them. Ain't nobody there to say you out of pocket, dog, because everybody up there is up there talking around, and ain't nobody going to say nothing. Never show up a colleague. I ain't going to your cookouts. I got time. I got all the time in the world. Somebody show this to him too. Get this out. Let's keep it going. Let me get this out of here. I want to keep going. Let's go. Let's go. Now let's get to Brady Quinn. Before we get to your injury history, my man, since everything's fair game, let's get to the fact that you've been running your mouth and been wrong a long time. Remember you said this about C.J. Stroud?
And then there's some other stuff about interviews. And maybe, for example, the Manning Passing Academy, I'd been told that, he committed to it the night before, just kind of ghosted him, didn't show up. That's football royalty. And when you do that, that's going to kind of set off some alarms for people of like, hey, man, that's not how you conduct yourself, especially around the Manning family or just in general if you're going to be a franchise quarterback. So,
and then it comes out, Ryan Clark goes and interviews C.J. Stroud and comes out and finds out that, guess what? That never happened. He never committed that he was going to go to the Manning passing camp. He never was on that type of time. He never was. He never was on that type of time. And as I always say, I'm not just going to tell you that. I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you that. This is a direct quote from Ryan Clark. After you put smut on his name, after you was putting trash on his name, when in the draft process, when that man is trying to make money for his family, when that dude's draft stock is there, and you sitting here backbiting, throwing out rumors, chatty patty. That's what y'all get paid for? This is a quote from Ryan Clark. C.J. Stroud never committed to attend the Manning camp. Clark said he chose to work out with his teammates at Ohio State instead before his final season. He wasn't paid to go. And furthermore, Brady Quinn, what does acquiescing to the Manning family have to do with leading an organization? While it may be at number 2, Stroud is still expected to hear his name called early in day 1 with the NFL draft this Thursday. And by the way, C.J. Stroud is tearing the NFL up. But cats like this, chatty patties, dudes always throwing, listen, just because your career didn't end up like you wanted to, you ain't got to throw dirt on another man's name. You don't even know C.J. Stroud. And furthermore, you act like you work for the Mannings. Is you on the payroll? If you just don't, they're like football royalty, and if you don't go to that, you're going to drop down. Bro, listen, if you don't get up out of here with that, how the hell you going to tell somebody that they're going to fall because they didn't go to a passing camp? That's a grown man. That's the problem. Y'all be talking spicy. And because people don't want to get into the altercations and they don't want to engage you on that type of stuff, and everybody in the media says, oh, well, if you're a guy and you're playing professional football or your sport, you guys shouldn't even be on Twitter anyway so we can slander you. I got all the time in the world, Brady. Maybe they can't do it, but I got the receipts. You've been hating for a long time. You've been hating. Oh, by the way, your little comment about Ryan Day, while you're barking up the tree of Lou Holtz, he's an 86-year-old man. He could get that work too. Lou Holtz opened his mouth, that smoke is coming from him. I don't know why you Captain Kirk. You and the USS Enterprise is just going place to place, saving colonies. Captain Kirk, save the day. Nobody asked for that, bro. Ain't nobody checking for that. You've been hating. Receipts is here. Somebody show this to that man too. Show them to him. I need that. Somebody show, because I don't know what the rebuttal is. Now, here's my problem, and I'm going to get to the biggest part. I got 2 more things we're going to get to. We already proved that LaVar Arrington, I'm confused, LaVar. All that talk about you going to play through stuff, and cats is insinuating that people is not playing because they got the bag. Well, I'm asking y'all, did we assume that y'all was taking money, cashing checks, and y'all wasn't playing? Let's see. What injury did Brady Quinn have? Oh, he did play here in Cleveland. Let's go get to that. Let's get to that. Let's put that up. Let's talk about what Brady Quinn did in 2008. So he's sitting there talking about the ups and downs. How long you going to go with this guy? How long are you going to wait? 230 you're wasting. Bro, you was a first-round pick, and you was still bouncing around just like your boy Watson. Don't believe me? The Browns' disappointing 2008 got even more disappointing with the news that quarterback Brady Quinn will be placed on IR with a damaged tendon in his index pinky on his throwing hand. Now, it'd be kind of petty for me to minimalize. Oh, you hurt your finger? Did you hurt your finger? That's kind of condescending, ain't it? I mean, it's your throwing hand. It would affect the way you throw the ball, kind of like a rotator cuff injury on your throwing shoulder. It would kind of put a little detour. It would kind of damper you a little bit. It'll kind of affect your performance, I think so. And we all agree with that. So I wonder, did anybody make fun of that when you was hurt with your finger? I don't know. I'm just asking. Currently, there's no decision on whether or not Quinn will require surgery to repair the finger. Oh, so you didn't have surgery immediately because you wanted to know whether or not it took that. So let me get it correct. They shut you down even before they knew you had surgery. Don't that sound familiar? I think Deshaun Watson got shut down a little bit too by the coaches, even though he doesn't need surgery as of now. I don't understand why it works for you, but it won't work for Deshaun Watson. Maybe because he got $230 more million than you. I'm just asking. Quinn originally injured a finger in Week 11, Monday night, against the Buffalo Bills. It was in that game where he fractured the tip of his right finger index. He was cleared to pay this last Sunday's game against the Houston Texans, where he was pulled by head coach Romeo Crennel in favor of the post starter, Derek Anderson. It's the same dog-on story, is it not? He was cleared to play. Deshaun Watson is cleared to play, right? If anything, you should understand, Brady. I'm pretty sure that finger had a lot to do while you were pulled for ineffectiveness. I think it happened to Deshaun Watson this last week. So for all you people, once again, do your research on these dudes. Make these people stand on what they're talking about. There's a thing called the internet. I don't understand how you could come with this level of arrogance and slander against somebody when your career was mired with injuries. So you should appreciate and understand how difficult it is to play in this league day in and day out when you got to get your body prepared for war and battle every single week. I'm going to remind you, though. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going. You have to credit Quinn for playing through the injury. But in hindsight, the decision turned out to be poor. It now leaves the Browns in a pickle when it comes to their quarterback situation in 2009. Quinn was only able to muster 3 starts. He had great statistical debut, but a loss. In Week 10 versus the Broncos, when he benefited from porous Broncos defense and a solid running game. He followed that up with a below-average game against Buffalo, where he was not great statistically, but was able to make plays when he needed to and leading the Browns to a victory. Sunday against Houston, he had a very poor game before being benched in favor of Derek Anderson. You know what? It kind of sounds like, so let me give you this. Monday night against the Monday Night Football. We'll start earlier than that. First game of the year. Defense plays a great game. Deshaun Watson doesn't have a good statistical game, but he made enough plays for the Browns to win in big fashion at home against the Bengals and Joe Burrow. Comes back and has a horrible game against Pittsburgh. Comes back after that and has his best game of the year against Tennessee. Y'all see the parallels? Parallels is right there. Maybe if he thought about this before speaking, he would understand that. But I don't think he's really interested in fair analysis. I just think they involved in saying hot takes and clicks and laughing around. Okay, that's cool too. The remainder of 2008 was mostly about developing Brady Quinn to see if he could be the man for 2009. Now that evaluation process is put on hold. The problem is that presents the Browns is that they are going to have to make a decision on Quinn with very little data to analyze. Sound like Deshaun Watson? Sure. Browns pretty much know what they have in Derek Anderson, a tall, strong-arm quarterback who can make all the throws, but struggles mightily with consistency and decision-making. When the pressure is off, Anderson is at his best. When it's on, Anderson is at his worst. The Browns have had 11 starting quarterbacks in 10 years since the reincarnation, desperately need to stabilize the position. Losing the time to evaluate Quinn hurts that endeavor. And I would respect you. Instead of talking about $230 million, give us some insight into what it's like for a person that wants to be back on the field, who has an injury, has not proved himself to the fans, has not earned the starting job as much as you thought he would. And how do you overcome that? And what is the emotions with that? I would respect you if you analyzed it and really brought something to the table about because right here, this is something that I would like to hear. I would like to hear the insight of what you think is going through Deshaun Watson's head as he's trying to get back on the field, but at the same time has a very small sample size for fans and the coaches to evaluate it. I'd love to hear that. I don't think we're going to get it, though. Don't think we're going to get it. Finally, this is all it is. Do they commit to him with only 3 pro starts under his belt? Do they have to try and have he and Anderson coexist for another season? Do they have an open competition next year in training camp? It all leads to a giant conundrum for the Browns. So think about it. It's the same conundrum that the Browns are in now. Do you wait and see if Deshaun Watson is healed? Do you go get Jacoby Brissett? What do you do? Is that do you punt on the season? You put him on IR? The Browns always seem to be in this revolving door. For now, they can only hope that Quinn heals up and is 100% for OTAs in the spring. Aaron Anderson can play well enough in the last 5 games of the season to increase his trade value if they decide to go that route. But for now, all Cleveland is left with is another disappointment. So let's not act like you wasn't part of the same thing you railing on right now. Let's be clear about that. Now, I've already set my case up. You watch these guys, and they just, I mean, the people is getting out of pocket with this. Nowadays, I don't know if it's social media. I don't know if it's because, you know what I'm saying, like people feel like they could just get away with stuff. In my day, if you were saying stuff like that, people would come see you. People would come talk to you like, hey, bro, why you chatting on my name like that?
When he put up great stats, a lot of that in garbage time and all, is like, was that the year you saw that? Like, I don't know that he had ever at any point in time during his career been a top 5 quarterback. But like that was their tagline. We've top five. I'm like, he's not a top 5 quarterback. He's never been a top 5 quarterback.
You accusing me of taking money? You accusing me of being lazy? This is how I feed my family, bro. NFL players don't do that. That's not how it gets down. You worry about what you're doing. You don't know what that man going through. You don't know what his pain threshold is. You don't know. And a lot of people is running around here, and that's why y'all hypocrites to start with. All that talking about mental health, all of that mental health exaggeration stuff, y'all cats is out of pocket. And let me talk to these little fans that be calling themselves Cleveland Browns fans too. I like some of y'all, but let's be clear. It's about 25% of our fan base that I could care less to talk to ever. I don't care if you support me, decertify. I don't care. It's 25 of y'all that's out of pocket because every freaking article that comes out, y'all got little jokes and ha, and massage this and massage that. Bro, let me tell you what you can do. You can stay where you at, work your dead-end job, and run around and act like you smarter and cooler than people, laughing at people's adversity. Because there is no way, and you know what, that I'm supposed to be seeing all of this stuff. Oh, massage this and massage that. Bro, that's getting so old. That's getting so old, bro. And at the end of the day, if you were so inclined that you felt so badly about it, you wouldn't make funny jokes about people allegedly being sexual assaulted. But all of y'all is clout chasing. You virtue signaling. You don't give a damn about none of that. So if you thought you was doing all that good stuff, oh, I'm gonna make these jokes. How cool is it to make, if you really believe the accusations, how cool is it to laugh at their pain? How cool is it to make jokes at somebody else's expenses? That could be your mom, that could be your sister, that could be your niece, that could be your grandmother. How fun is that? But we all understand. You just want to put stuff on Twitter and get you some likes. At the end of the day, I don't respect that. And I don't respect this comment right here. And this makes it, and when he said this make everybody comfortable to think you could get this off. Really? How about we massage this conversation and get it to a happy ending? Does that sound satisfactory? Bro, you better than that. You better than that, bro. You got your Twitter handle up there. You got your beautiful family up there in the left-hand corner. You done got college. You done played in college. You're an announcer. Bro, you better than that. You better than that, dog. That's your comeback? You could have had a conversation with that man, and you talking to his quarterback. You talking to his quarterback coach, Quincy. You're not talking to Deshaun Watson. If you felt that way, you know what I respect? pick your phone up, use your contacts, and talk to Deshaun Watson face-to-face if you got something to say like that. This is what I call being a Twitter thug. Hey, at the end of the day, as a player, if you got a problem with another player and you part of that fraternity, you get on the hotline, you talk to that man face to face. You don't get on these Twitters and all of this and clout chase back and forth. You better than that, bro. And this type of stuff give people an opportunity to jump up and think that's all cool. That's how we moving. Listen, the comment is beneath you, my man. I'm not out here trying to tear down your character. I ain't saying nothing bad about your people. I ain't saying nothing bad about where you come from, but you got borderline statements. This, along with the trust fund comment, out of pocket. You don't know where that man grew up. That man grew up in the projects. And you like, come on, bro. You know how many people wish they was trust fund babies? You know how many people wish they didn't have to do all this to make ends meet? And you just Twitter, you just happy. I don't know what you was on. But at the end of the day, you out of pocket for that. And if you really feel like that, stand on it and give Deshaun Watson a call. Other than that, we're not trying to hear what you're talking about. See, it's got out of pocket. It's got out of hand, bro. Everything is a clown circus around here. Don't nobody got no morals, no standards. What happened to being a man, being a stand-up dude? What happened to being men and having conversations and being men face to face and having those conversations about certain things that you don't agree with them? Everything now is let me go for shock. Let me just double down on this dumb stuff that I'm saying. And you've been doing it for a long time. Did you apologize to CJ Stroud for lying on him?
And then there's some other stuff about interviews and maybe, for example, the Manning Passing Academy. I'd been told that, he committed to it the night before, just kind of ghosted him, didn't show up. That's football royalty. And when you do that, that's going to kind of set off some alarms for people of like, hey, man, that's not how you conduct yourself, especially around the Manning family or just in general if you're going to be a franchise quarterback. So
I don't know. You might have. But if you're going to call me out publicly, I want an apology publicly. And at the end of the day, I can't blame them. They don't all stand on anything. For me, I don't care. And there needs to be more people that say, look, I'm not trying to come to your pizza parties. I don't care. I'm not using you as a reference. I don't need to put you on no resume nowhere. I don't need to do all that. I'll call balls and strikes. It is what it is. I'm not trying to get into camp. I'm not trying to go. No, I'm cool. So every time y'all step out of line, I'm lining you back up. I got the receipts. With that being said, hit the like button, man. Make sure these cats see this because I'm the only one out here giving it to them like this. It's your boy G. Bush in the barbershop.